Oh, Danelle, do you not know this case? Danelle, you did not know this case. You did not know the ins and outs of it. So let me show you right here. Insurance on the boys was $5K each. It cost $10K for a funeral, not counting money spent on flowers. No motive, none. It cost $13,000 for the funeral. Cyrilda paid the other $3,000 herself. Do you not listen to anything? Do you not know anything about this case? I know that's a small misconception. That's a small thing, but it's a fact. And you are trying to stand up for a convicted child killer. You should know all the facts before you put your ass on the line. It was $13,000. As a matter of fact, there is a section in Precious Angels that says that Helena, the ones that were jealous of Darlie and they had a falling out, those ones were at the funeral. I wouldn't want anybody I had a falling out with at my son's funeral, but because they didn't have a falling out. Helena said that she went up to Darlie. Darlie was touching the boys' faces and crying a little bit at the funeral, and Helena went out to comfort her and said, maybe you should sit down. With all this going on, you have to worry about this expensive funeral. And Darlie looked at her and said, oh, I'm not worried. I get $5,000 apiece. I'm not worried. That came from Barb Davis's book, Precious Angels. The one who said that Darlie was innocent for the longest time. Or said that she was guilty for the longest time, right? She wrote the book, Precious Angels. It's pretty damning, right? Then she goes on the Lisa Gibbons show, and Cyrilda turns around and says to her on national TV, you can be sued. Telling Barbara Davis that. After Barbara Davis said, I was there when she took the lie detector test. I know the questions she was asked. She failed it. That's what she said. She failed it. And that's when Cyrilda turned to her and said, you can be sued. You can be sued for that. Then in the very next segment, Barb Davis sitting there by herself, talking about how innocent Darlie was, saying that Darlie was innocent now because she was threatened to be sued. Barb Davis did say that she was going to write a book about her innocence, and never did. This person that stood up strong for Darlie had her house raided in North Ridgeville, Texas, in 1999 on suspicion of growing marijuana and the drug GHB, and was convicted of that. She was convicted of it, Barb was. Not only that, when the police came to raid the house, her son pulled a gun on the police and they shot and killed him. But no, it was $13,000. Cyrilda paid the rest. And then, a year, then we see Darren out here. They're all asking for money to help with testing, asking for money to help with DNA, asking for money. And then Darren puts up a Facebook page. All right. This is years ago. And when I was a supporter, he puts up a Facebook page, and it shows him with a brand new Ford F-150 Harley Davidson edition truck. Brand new, black, beautiful. Brand new. While they're asking people, please help Darlie. As a matter of fact, when I saw Darren's Facebook page the first day that he had it up, I was a supporter. That's when I messaged Mom and Darlie. I said, you believe he put up a Facebook page and it doesn't say anything about these kids, anything about this crime, anything about help? Nothing. So Mom and Darlie said, no, I didn't. And she went over and looked. And she saw it. And that's when she said, well, I'm calling Cooper right now. I don't know why she said that. She said, I'm calling Cooper right now. And then I said, well, he could at least put something on there about the kids, about the crime, about, because people know who he is. He could at least put something on there to memorialize the kids. And, and she said, oh, he's not going to do that. He talks too much. He's been in bars talking to bimbos. All right. And then I said, well, I don't know. It looks kind of suspicious to me. And she said, I always thought he had something to do with this crime. And I said, me too. That's why I'm here, because I think he did it. But back then, you didn't accuse Darren. they would tear your ass up back then if you accused Darren. And so somebody asked me in the group, what makes you think that she's innocent? What points to her innocence? And I said, well, I think Darren did it. And they kind of started chewing me out for that in the group, the Free Darling private group. They started chewing me out for that. How dare you? You don't talk about Darren. He's a victim of blah, blah, blah. I said, hey, I'm not the only one that thinks he did it. I'm sure there's other people that think he did it. Oh, no, they don't, blah, blah, blah. I said, well, Mama Darling thinks he did it. And then she popped in there, I most certainly do not. And I said, oh, really? You're gonna say one thing in private and then one thing in public? She said, I most certainly, Darren loved them kids and blah, blah. So I took the messages that I'd done to Danelle. I took the messages that Darla Key just got done saying. I always thought he had something to do with it, and posted it. And the people didn't say, oh my God, Mama Darling, why are you lying? They were more mad at me for taking a private message and posting it. So I left that group. And I still stayed in support for a while after that. A couple weeks. I was like, why the fuck is she lying like that? Why would she flat lie like that? Like Danelle does. Danelle says that I'm pestering her, that I'm harassing her, that I'm doing everything in my power, when it's her that's doing it. We can see it right here on the videos. You can see it, plain as day, on my videos. They're liars. These people are liars. If they could defend her with truth, that would be different. But they're liars. Danelle's worse than her mother. But no, you got the shit wrong. It was 13,000. Know your shit before you come out here talking about this.